Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I am your host, Tyrone Bridges.
Keep on staying on your porch, son.
I shall, sir.
Stay on your porch, and as long as you stay on your porch, you can help folks. I'm gonna show you why. There was a little girl that got missing from her family. She was abducted. I ain't seen no other show pick it up. None of these little shows that they got around here. But your show picked it up. And it went all the way to Georgia. Went all the way down to South Carolina. The word got out through your show. And guess what? That was good. Come home.
Let's get it.
Stay on your porch, son.
Thank you, bro.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, sir.
Good night.
All right. Peace. Welcome. I am Tyrone Bridges. I am your host of I Thought You Knew. Welcome to our show. Tonight, very special guest tonight. We're still waiting to link up. You know, we have computer problems. But once again, I am your host, Tyrone Bridges, what I Thought You Knew. And welcome tonight. Tonight's guests, once when we get them on the show, will be Ypsilanti, Washtenaw County, 14A District Court Judge, Fawn Armstrong, and also her husband. Just give me a minute. Well, without further ado, everybody, just wanted to connect with everybody and let y'all know our show. We bring plenty of information about the election 2022 here in Washtenaw County, Ypsilanti, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, also Pittsfield, Michigan. My name is Tyrone Bridges. Once again, I'm your host of I Thought You Knew, and I just wanted to share with you guys what we bring. If you missed some of our shows or any of our interviews, you can check us out at our Facebook group, I Thought You Knew, our Facebook group, I Thought You Knew Facebook group, or you can check out the I Thought You Knew website at I Thought You Knew Ipsy, YPSI.com. That's I Thought You Knew Ipsy, YPSI.com. And if you would like to make a contribution on the very first page, all the way down to the bottom, please make a contribution to I Thought You Knew. And that helps us bring on the content. Whether you make a donation or not, we're still going to bring the content on. Once again, I'm waiting for the interview to start. I'm waiting actually for the candidate and her husband. Just give me a few minutes. Bear with us, of course. We always have technical difficulties. I got to re-plug the tag. Bear with me, you guys. Hey, Christopher, how you doing? Hey, Christopher, how you doing?
All right. How about you, boss?
All righty, we are live. And bear with me. I'm about to put it back on broadcast. All right. All right, we should be live. Zoom was having a problem of connecting with Facebook Live, so
Yeah,
bear
so
with me.
there were two links, and the first link didn't take me directly to this one, so I signed off and signed back.
Yeah, Zoom is having problems. Y'all forgive me.
All good.
All right, I see y'all. Look at you. All righty now. There we go. All righty. That's that handsome couple. How you doing, Fawn?
Good, how are you?
All righty, all righty. Look here, we did our intro, and we see y'all sitting in looking good and everything. We'll actually rewind our intro just a little bit, just so now we got LinkedIn. We want to do our intro so everybody to know this is our thing. And here's our intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I am your host, Tyrone Bridges.
Keep on staying on your porch, son.
I shall, sir.
Stay on your porch. And as long as you stay on your porch, you can help folks. I'm gonna show you why. There was a little girl that got missing from her family. She was abducted. I ain't seen no other show pick it up. None of the little shows that they got around here. But your show picked it up. And it went all the way to Georgia. Went all the way down to South Carolina. The word got out through your show. And guess what? That looks good. Come home.
Let's get it.
Stay on your porch, son.
Thank you, bro. Welcome, welcome.
All right, sir.
Good night.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Tyrone Bridges, and we have two very, very special guests coming on our show today, and we also have a K9. I love it. Abstract. This is beautiful. Everybody, welcome to the show. This is the candidate for 14A District Court in Ypsilanti, Miss Fawn Armstrong, and also her husband. Great fella. I met him today. He's a wonderful guy. Y'all have no idea. This man is talented just like me. I like that. We connect. Mr. Christopher Shemke. Y'all say hello.
Hi.
Happy to be here.
All right. All right. Well,
I do Zoom court, and I would love to have an intro every time I go to court like that. Like,
oh man,
I'm
we
gonna
got to work that out.
have,
We have to work that out. I like that. I like that. How y'all doing this evening? Y'all lovely couple.
lovely Sunday. Can't complain.
Doing good.
And I
All
had
right. All right.
company this afternoon for lunch.
Yes, sir.
We managed to have a good time, I think.
Yes, sir. We did. We definitely did. We had a wonderful time. We got a chance to talk and share some things. My man, he's an excellent guy. You have a fantastic husband. And without further ado, I want to actually talk to you more about you potentially being our new 14A District Court judge in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Fawn, tell the public a little bit more about you and get a little bit more energized, because I think that they want to know who you are as a human being. And your husband here, like I said, I met with him earlier today. We had a pleasant talk. We balanced some things out, and we actually need to know more about you and you as your authentic person. Talk to us, please.
Okay. I'm Fawn Armstrong. I'm an assistant prosecutor here in the county. I've been here for the past 10 years. I'm also prior service. I did 8 years in the Army Reserves. I did 1 tour of duty in Iraq. I led soldiers. I was a sergeant over there. finished my career out as an E6 staff sergeant. Very proud of my time there. This is my husband, Christopher Shemke. He is an attorney as well. He used to do prosecution. He now does a lot, kind of everything, a lot of criminal defense work. I'm a mother. I have a 13-year-old daughter. She goes to Saline Middle School and she is into volleyball. We just got her a new rebound net for the backyard.
Okay.
We live in Saline. I've been working on my garden.
You're a gardener. What are you growing? Give us the top 3 things that you're growing in your garden.
Tomatoes, peppers, strawberries, onions, corn. My daughter loves corn, so I'm trying to grow corn.
I think I'm about actually to lose a bet because I bet her, I think $100 that she wouldn't grow anything. That it was
What? Don't
did.
bet her. Don't
did.
bet her, lady. Don't do that.
wasn't gonna happen,
Right.
that it was an attempt that should not take
Yes.
place. And she's out there rocking the garden, and I'm gonna have to pay up, I
I
think.
know. In his defense, I have not been very successful with plants inside the house.
Oh, they all die. They all die.
I forget to water them. I'm sorry. So it was a solid bet. It's not done yet because I have to produce something edible. Mhm. So I've got to agree with it.
All right. Well, Christopher, I'm glad you lost that bet because you know women know better than we do, sir.
Lost yet. I gotta see something that's
Mhm.
substantial.
Yeah.
It's gotta, but I'm probably gonna lose. I'm aware of it now.
Oh, all righty then. All righty then. All right, Fawn, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. I am the oldest of 6 siblings. So there's only one boy. He's kind of in the middle. They're all my best friends. My youngest sister is actually still in college. I was 19 when she was born. So she's down going for opera singing down in North Carolina.
Really?
Yes. So there's a lot of little kids running around, a lot of nieces and nephews, which is awesome. We love it. We love our family time.
All right.
Very musically inclined family. What's the name of the band you're in?
Soul practitioners.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Is this breaking news that we hear that
Oh.
Fawn is in a band? You have talents that you wait a minute, everybody. We about to go off script. Actually, we don't have a script, so we're gonna go off the page a little bit. So you got talents?
Not quite. I started undergrad actually as a theater major and vocal music minor. And then halfway through, I realized that I wanted to do more with my life. And that's when I decided I would love to be a prosecutor because I wanted to, that was my goal. I thought I could help victims. I could be their voice. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to make a difference. And then again, as I've been a prosecutor, I realized there's more to it, and I really need to help defendants. It's about helping the whole entire community, and trying to give people hope, and making. I think I can help people and defendants believe in themselves. It really just takes one person to believe in you for you to believe in yourself. And I think I learned a lot of that too, actually at boot camp in the Army of having strength in yourself. I'm sorry, off topic.
No, but there's a lot of failed actors who became lawyers. I myself was acting,
Mhm.
and then we thought, well, why don't we act in front of a jury and maybe get paid for it?
It's a little
But
similar.
one of the best things with the singing stuff, we were in Ireland, and we were going on this.
It was a musical tour.
Yeah, and it was, we learned a lot about like the pubs and the history. And then they were like, all right, we've been entertaining you all night. How about you entertain us? And maybe people like a juggle or something. And then Fawn sings Les Mis, I Have a Dream. Like we're in Ireland and everybody stops, like dead stop. Like we're all like, they were like, well, I guess we should be paying her. Like
Really?
it was a very beautiful moment.
So you mean to tell me today, live on our show, that we have a talented candidate for
No.
judge that can sing? And wait a minute, hold it. Don't let us unbalance this talent venue here. Christopher, I heard you had some talents too.
I do play the saxophone. I'm in the Washtenaw Community Band. We have a concert actually coming up in July, and then I joined another band. It's a saxophone band that we get together. And we go to I'm new to it, but go to different places like even like just a retirement home to play for individuals, and I love jamming with sax. I mean, and she's the bigger talent, but I will say when I pull out the saxophone, I feel like I get some points.
He's very impressive, yes.
I get some points.
Really? Well, I tell you what, we ain't rehearsed this. This is called an authentic show. Christopher, why don't you go find your saxophone and let's talk to Fawn a little bit more.
No, we're not pulling out now. Like I told you.
What?
Jamming on the saxophone. We talked about it. I'm a sheet music guy. I got a setup.
Really? I got a piece of paper. We can put some music on.
You and I get together and
I'll
we'll
play a little keyboard, so we can work it out.
you, but this is not showcasing my miniature talent. This is
Not today.
but I will tell you what, I already promised you, you're coming over and we're gonna hang out. And
All right.
we'll jam and have fun.
Okay. All right. Well, let's since we called his card today, Fawn, let's get back on you and let's get back on your campaign and tell the people more about what you have planned and what would you bring here in Ypsilanti.
So one thing, I can't remember if I talked about it last time I was on the show.
We ain't gonna talk about last time. We're gonna talk about this time. We here now.
One of the big things I really want to do is a treatment court in 14A. There's not one treatment court in all of 14A. There's some in 15th District Court, and they have 3 actually in 15th, and I think there's 1 or 2 in 14B, which is Ipsy Township, but not one in 14A. And I think our citizens in our community could really benefit from that.
Let's educate them about treatment court. Let's talk about treatment court and what it entails, if you don't mind.
So there are different ones. You can have a sobriety court. There's a mental health court, a veterans court, a drug court. We have a human trafficking court. So it's a probationary program that's kind of funded a little bit differently, but it's very intensive because it brings in. It's not just the probation agent and then you go do other things. There's a whole team there built to support the probationer and figure out exactly what they need. So we're addressing the exact individual need for that court, but then we'll look at other things. Do you need also maybe some counseling, some group therapy, the substance abuse treatment? Do you need help maybe obtaining benefits? Can we help you find housing or a job? It is intensive, so someone has to volunteer to go into that program, but it's supposed to be about long-term recovery, and the benefits of it are amazing. They have agreements with the state where you can get reductions in your charge, or you can get even a fully dismissed charge.
Mm-hmm.
And to expand upon that, like one of the great things, so I'm been a prosecutor, I'm a defense attorney, and I practice all over Michigan, but basically mostly in 5 counties. The sobriety court. I think that there are courts that allow individuals an opportunity instead of just getting punished to find a way to sidestep the recidivism. I mean, for example, if you get 2 DUIs in 7 years, your license is gone. 2 operating under the influence charges. A sobriety court, which will continue on just beyond what you're saying, is an opportunity for an individual to be treated, but also to allow them to have a driver's license, but with provisions. So it's not like someone's just getting back on. You got to earn it. It's not just an easy day under the sun. It's a lot of work, but for the individual, you have to try to get into the program. It's not just something given to you, but if you're eligible. And I as a defense attorney, I have to say, I feel that giving clients an opportunity to avail themselves of that, and it's so frustrating because there are times that courts don't have it. And I got to file motions to get them out of that district court, to get them into one, which is a hassle as is. So as a Washtenaw County individual who lives here, I would love to have that in my community. And the fact that my wife wants to do that is fantastic. But so there's an amount of balance here. So she's got the prosecutor. I was prosecutor, I do defense, but she helps me out with my cases. And I'd like to think on occasion, I try to provide a little bit of insight, but I think that she's in a unique platform to have all her experience and then a little bit of a defense attorney chirping in her ear on things that could be realistic, not just looking good on paper. And
It's been a great time that we have these two kind of, this dichotomy of work that we do. It's kind of similar, but on two different sides. But he can give me such a unique perspective, just talking about his clients, what their needs, what they look for, what defense attorneys like in the court. And so it's been very helpful, especially running this campaign. We also have a lot of friends who are judges, a lot of them downriver where he has a big practice down there. And these judges have their own, they all have specialty courts. We have training courts, mental health courts, veterans courts, and they are so supportive. They said, Fawn, you get elected, we're going to sit down and I'm going to teach you and show you exactly what to do to set up your own.
you can tell they care because it's like their baby. Like when somebody opens up their own court, and I've worked, so I was with the Seroptis group, I was in the domestic violence task force. You deal with a judge who literally cherishes this court that they built, and they want to have people come in, and it's not about funding, it's about making sure that the process works.
Right.
And I've only got a handful of judges that I've met who actually, it's part of their heart. And you know, I married her, but I mean, so
Who's biased?
I am, but I could tell that it means something to her, that she wants to establish this, build it. And I, as an individual who's been on both sides of the table, when it works, it works. You need to have the person who wants to make it happen, because just like anybody, nobody wants to be sober unless they want to be sober. You can't make somebody do it, but to have such a unique avenue to sidestep what could be a catastrophe for most people, I would love that to be there. And if she became a judge in that court, like, so I do the Michigan Indigent Defense Council. I couldn't do that anymore there because I could sort of retain work out of there. But to me, I think her position in that court, there's a bunch of great attorneys out there, and I want to make sure that there's a great judge there. So,
and great, and definitely with you being in that position as the 14A district court judge, you will be able to understand the community in which you serve. You understand the balance of being low income and not having versus the balance of I would say an Ann Arborin type resident that's raised up with the opportunities such as jobs and other benefits that Ypsilantianites don't have. You would really understand by being that judge of concern, of care and compassion, and just talk to them about the main reasons that make you a qualified candidate for that judge in that Ypsilanti seat, because we have a lot of people. I'm a born and raised Bayer Hospital baby, so I knows what's happening in South, East, West, North, all the sides of Ypsilanti. So definitely we need to hear from you, and how would you understand the population that you would serve?
Well, one thing is, I spent years in that court specifically. When I was assigned to district court, that was my home. That's where I worked. I was in courts about 4 days a week, basically living there because the dockets were so long and you don't really get lunch breaks. So I was just there with the people, and then going down the street if I got a break to get lunch or something. But it is a very special court. It's a very special location, and it's different than all the other district courts here. They have very special needs specific to Ypsilanti, because there are so many people there with heart that care, and they care about their community, and they're concerned about things going on there. We're concerned about a lot of the gun violence that's happening there, and people themselves are afraid for their own safety and afraid for their children. So that's a huge concern. Also, there's some drugs that come through there as well. We're getting a lot of cases coming through, especially people think it's heroin, but it's not, it's fentanyl. Now we're facing potential for overdoses. But the other thing I think that perhaps affects a lot of people in that community, it has to do with not having well-paying jobs, issues with getting driver's licenses back, issues with daycare, trying to be able to afford daycare, afford all of your bills, and also affordable housing. I know when I moved here, I definitely had my mom helping me out.
Mhm.
And I was a prosecutor, and I still had my mom, and a lot of people don't have that support.
Right.
Being able to pay those bills, and it's something that always stuck with me, because when my mom was 18, she was kicked out of her house and told, you're on your own. So she got married at 18, and then got divorced a couple years later after having 3 kids. And she was on her own, working at Kroger, doing night school, trying to learn a trade. She was learning computers at the time, but she didn't have any support. I mean, at one point she was in foster care. So she really just had to make herself. But there were times that we struggled. We almost lost our house a couple of times.
Mhm.
So, we didn't have money for the cool new backpack or new clothes or things like that. And then myself, I was a single mom for 10 years. And again, even as a lawyer, I was not making a lot of money, and I was struggling. And I know what that feels like, and I know that worry that people have, and trying to find a daycare, trying to get off work in time to not get the late fee for daycare. There's just, it's a struggle. It's hard. And
Yes, it
people,
is.
they struggle, but they fight through it like I did. And that's, so commendable. And I bring all that up because, again, the judge there is making decisions that are impacting people's lives in a big way.
That's right.
One fine, one ticket, one, order to drug test or tether. These are things that are going to severely impact someone's lives.
And we've talked about that quite a bit. For example, if you're on probation for driving without a license, or like a retail fraud, why are you paying money for a random test for drugs and alcohol? It's not affiliated with it. That's a money grab. And it's simply just setting someone up for failure where
Mhm.
they can't afford it, and you're gonna jam them up, and then you're gonna put a violation. And I think that, at least based on the dialogue I've had with Fawn, she seemed more targeted towards specific solutions to problems, not a blanket, well, you're on probation, so you're gonna do jams. Why? It's a retail fraud case, jams. And I always like that. And even, I will say, so she's very generous to the point where, like, we're 12 minutes from that court. Like, we're right off Michigan Avenue. And I moved here, and she encouraged me to get involved with Washtenaw County Bar, which I did. And then we recently, I think 4 weeks ago, did a program just meeting with people who needed to get their license back. They come in, and like, it's a training, but it's also to help people. But I've been doing this for 10 years. So I came in, I'm like, I'm gonna need training, just giving clients. And not clients, because not for money, it was more, I'd sit with people, they'd come in, I'd look at their driver's record, I'd be like, okay, this is what you have to do, and I'd help them. And I'm fine. When I was younger, there was always a position where I wanted to pay my student loan off, so I needed to make money. And now we're in a very unique and blessed position to be able to help. And I will say, Fawn's very generous, and a lot of it is rubbed off on me in a very positive way to get involved with the community. Because I know, Tyrone, that's one of the big things. Even when we're sitting down, you and I talking, I can see how much you love the city. And at the end of the day, after you and I are just having our dialogue and goofing off, or just getting along, it comes back to the city. And I do feel that her heart is in the city. What can she do for that? Now, obviously, it's a Washtenaw County position, but what are you doing for the city? You are a district court in the city. And I can tell that she's very sincere, very contrite when it comes to like her passions, and to a point where it rubs off on me, where I'm like, all right, I don't want you to be that much better than me. I'll be nice too. And I got to say, it's a very positive scenario, because my interaction with the city was more through being a fraternity guy. Like, we had a chapter there, but hanging out with kids who don't live in the city, who go there for an education, is not being part of the heart, the soul of Ypsilanti. And it's got potential. I mean, and I told you, Tyrone, when we were talking, that Detroit doesn't have anything on Ypsilanti as far as like some of the dangers, the inherent worry, the fear. I mean, I do murder cases, and it's like Ypsilanti, it blows away what I thought Detroit was. I thought that was the Wild West, and there's a lot of genuine and sincere people. And I can't say any names, but I got a friend, Ricky. You know, he's connected me to that county, to that city, with just his friends, and even interacting, going over to his house, and finding myself in a precarious position where I'm there and we're working on business, and I got to deal with the police, and it's a Tuesday afternoon, and it's business per usual for him. And I'm like, I don't interact with the police unless I'm working. And I bring that home to my wife, and she's just a sponge. She wants to listen and find a solution. So I wish I was passionate about anything as much as she was. I'm not. But
So that's the problem solver of the home. I understand. I love that. So Fawn, definitely let's make sure we do not miss the two elephants in the room. The two elephants in the room via one by question of our viewer, and also one by question of me. Let me get the viewer's question. She said, what are your feelings on cash bail, and what do you see as a pros and cons of it? What is your vision for River Street? I don't know if you can answer the River Street vision, but the pros and cons on no cash bail.
Yes, cash bail or surety bail, it should be really only used if we are genuinely concerned that there's a danger to the community, in my opinion, because we need people to, I don't know what we're stopping them from doing if it's not just about safety by keeping them in jail. There's been years where, like I said, 10 years here, people going and having an arrest warrant out because they missed a court date for their driving while license suspended tickets, right? So the judge immediately issues a bench warrant instead of saying, I'll delay the bench warrant, or I'll set it for a show cause, or we'll adjourn the date, something, anything, instead of issuing a bench warrant. So now someone's driving to work or something, they're getting pulled over, now they're in jail. And when are they going to see a magistrate? And now the magistrate's issuing a bond, and it's crazy to me that's not what it should be there for. It should be there just to ensure safety. We had Ellie Sabat came in about a year or so ago, and he really stopped those policies of asking for bonds in those cases, which has been helpful because we can really just focus on if there's a genuine safety risk, right? And sometimes it's maybe there's a domestic violence case, or an AWIM, assault with intent to murder, murder cases, things like that, where we have genuine concerns. But no, I don't think that we should be using cash bonds for traffic tickets or for other cases. People can get to court, especially now that it's a Zoom court. And also, we have to give people a break sometimes. Maybe they missed court for a genuine reason. We shouldn't just automatically issue a bench warrant.
So the balance of that elephant in the room, you're going to find a lot of domestic violence cases that come to your court if you become the next 14A district court judge. We're not asking you to pre-commit. We're not asking you to make a commitment on any type of way, but those are the bulk, the domestic violence, there's a lot of shootings in Ypsilanti. There's a lot of murder. There's a lot of CSCs. I call it like it is. This is my show. There's a lot of damn predators that are out there hunting our kids. And you both know, and Christopher, me and you had a man-to-man talk, right? We had a father-to-father talk about our babies. If something ever happened to our babies, you know how we feel. But forgive my tone if I sound like I'm frustrated, but a lot of these judges, I understand they have policies. I dig it. But when it impacts you as a seated judge, and you have a 13-year-old, 12-year-old child, and a suspect come across your bench with a CSC on a 10-year-old child, and your gut start twisting and turning, and then that actually gets you in the mind of thinking about your baby. And what if this was your baby? I am speaking as a producer of a show, but as a homegrown, born, Bayer Hospital born baby, Ypsilanti high school grown guy, that my mom have always taught me, you take those predators that's hurting these kids, you deal with them, they won't be predators no more. I'm speaking to you from the heart, from Tyrone Bridges, not from a political standpoint. I'm speaking to you as if you were on the bench, your honor. All of these young women, all of these young men that call our show and talk to us about these predators. And we know the number of predator cases in Washtenaw County. It's not standing at a standstill. It's going up and up and up. How do you assure us as parents, I'm a grandparent, that you will get our back as parents when it comes down to the point where you need to push the law where the law needed to be pushed? We don't need no reform. I'm going to be blunt. And I usually put my disclaimer out there on my show because when I get serious, I get sweating. My disclaimer is, if y'all can't understand the words that are coming out my mouth and y'all have tender ears and you don't like curse words, go to another show. This is about our babies. This is about our babies. We have to look at our babies, our sacred babies, and protect our babies. We look at you as a district court judge to protect our babies because we look at you as the last straw to pull these predators off the street so they won't harm our babies. Please talk to the public about your feeling about it. I don't want you to cross the line or hurt anybody's in your office or, but you're a parent. You're a parent first. Mm-hmm. So the echoes of other parents on this show saying, my baby has been this, my baby has been that. Are you going to be those rubber stamp judges that allow these predators to run in our streets frequently?
No, and for one clarifying thing too, this is district court, so I won't be dealing with any the felony matters, which most COCs are.
But you deal with the bond. And what he wants to know is the bond.
I'm getting there. One thing I think that is important is that I have 10 years of experience of going through these cases. I'm reading them, we're charging them, I'm in court with these cases, I've done the appeals on these cases, district court, all the way to circuit court, all the way to the Court of Appeals, to the Michigan Supreme Court. And just being immersed in that and being able to, you get a sense of what is a danger and what is not. And I think that's so important to have that instinct and that education and experience to be able to kind of determine, is this a case where we don't need a bond or we do need a bond? Absolutely, child predators need to be dealt with through justice to protect the community and to protect other children. It's terrible. You hope that no child is ever hurt. It's soul crushing when a child is subject to that type of vulgar violence and assault. It makes me shake sometimes thinking of it. I myself was a victim when I was a child of sexual assault. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be a prosecutor, and I wanted to work in CSC cases because I wanted to help victims and give them a voice, and also to believe them, because that's one of the hardest. It's really hard for a victim to come forward and expose that about themselves and talk about it, and people don't believe them, and who's fighting for that child.
Yeah.
We've seen other cases where maybe it's a boyfriend who's the perpetrator of the mom, and then the mom is supporting the boyfriend, and it's like, who is looking out for this child? And that's where I was hoping to be, as a prosecutor, is really fighting that fight, because it is very important to me and close to my heart.
And I know that there's policies and everything that the courts are bound by. Y'all forgive me because I sweat because all these lights in my studio. This is a very sensitive situation because, you know, we got a lot of stuff that's going on that's been unchecked in our county. We need caring people in office. We need loving people on the bench. You know, we need caring people on the bench. We don't need no politicians on the bench. We need mothers. We need fathers. We need people that understands the balance of both worlds. I was raised on the south side of Ypsilanti. The survival rate was pretty low out there. Most of the youth either went to prison, got a case, or end up being dead. A lot of the south side offsprings are running the streets right now. The genuine balance that I look for as a personal voter myself, in which I don't want to sound biased, but we have to stop doing the same old thing that's been done 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. So when I'm saying to the public, we have to actually reset the guard. We have to change the guard, because the politicians that's in office that makes it a lifelong job, and they actually forget their actual real job: serve the constituents. Judges are literally like our parents, the community parents. Y'all can tell us when to pee, when not to pee. Y'all can tell us to go to jail when we rude to you. Y'all literally like our mamas and daddies. So to be perfectly honest with you, you do have to have that heart of a mother, that heart of a father to be a judge, because really your power, whether you know it or not, and don't let nobody else tell you this. And we fear judges. Most of the judges right now are untouchable. And forgive me for saying, but most of the judges need to carry their asses off the benches, get off the benches and come to the community. We are afraid of your ass. You can lock us up. You can prevent us from having a successful life. Judges need to show the public that we're human just like you are. You are a very important judge once when you make it to that seat. That seat is a very, very, very powerful seat. You're right next to the famous Ypsilanti Police Department. The Ypsilanti Police Department does not have a favorable record with African Americans. How could you, as a seated judge, balance that out when you know that the history is so deep in Ypsilanti with the police and African Americans?
And if I may, Tyrone, this is something that we only touched on a little bit, but one of the things that I liked when I spoke with you, it resonated that it was about, as you said, hitting the streets, meeting the people, and that's why we discussed it. And actually, I wanted to invite this to you, was your friends, like the people that you know. We would love to invite you and the community to our home, to have not a fundraiser, don't want any money.
Just a genuine understanding. Yes, sir.
We'll take care of like food, we'll take care of, you know, libations if some people have, but I mean, there's pot, water, pop, all this, whatever. We want to bring people, this is where we live, come here. And that's, and I know, you know, you got followers, you have individuals, and I can only go to so many community events. She can only go to so many community events. And also, she is still a public servant, so she cannot campaign, you know, 40 hours a week during that 9 to 5. I can because I'm independent. But in addition to us making fight to, she's walking the streets, knocking the doors. Tyrone, we would love to actually organize with you an opportunity to have an event at our home and bring people from Ypsilanti, people that you know, good people, bring them here. Like, let's meet and I mean, we're always available to talk politics, but don't want any money, don't want any, it's just, let's meet the people. And I couldn't imagine a better way than opening our home up to finding another avenue to get directly correlated with the soul of Ypsilanti.
Because that's what's so important is knowing what people need and what are the issues facing people. That's something that I think as judge, maybe, like you said, judges have stay on the bench and then they forget that they are a member of the community. But being able to be accessible and not just this figure above, you know, looking down on people. I need to be reachable because I have to stay in touch with the heart and the needs of the people. And the only way to do that is to talk to people and reach out. One thing, like you said about the police officers, I would love it if the police, and I know that YPD, they don't have a lot of officers. They're all in overtime all the time. But just having police out, not policing, if there could be just maybe some times where they're just going out and saying hi, maybe that is another way to bridge.
Without the gun on their hip, without the badge on it.
And you know what? She hit a point, a hell of a point. These officers need to put them cars down and get on bikes if they have to. They used to. Back in the days in Ypsilanti, we used to have one of our beautiful officers, community officers, Kevin Dorsey. He used to come around the community. My mama used to feed his ass too. So I'm just saying, we loved him. We loved him. He was a part of our growing up. If it wasn't for him, a lot of us would have been worse. A lot of us probably would have been in the grave. We don't have that no more. We don't have that no more. So our lookup tools is basically the officers that's running around, the pastors. A lot of the pastors don't even come away from the pulpits. The judges, you know, we look up to leaders. But right now in Ypsi and Washtenaw County, leaders are too high and mighty that you can't be touched. You can't be touched. Can't no young person or a person like myself give you a call and say, I need you for a specific purpose. And majority of the time, my phone calls be answered by them young people that's in office, them young people that got the passion and the understanding that this man might really need my help, not with the old beast where you got these 60-year-old politicians that's been sitting in office like a relic that need to retire. They need to get on up out of office because what they're doing, they actually polluting the process. If the money is good, if the money been good for 5 years, after 10, hang your boots up. You should not make this a lifelong hobby. And if preachers and pastors think that they could actually be politicians, maybe y'all need to rethink your Bible strategy and read your Bible again, because what they're doing, they polluting our system. Money, illegal money that's flowing through our county, through our city, it's going to get caught up one day. And I swear on God, show us I was the recipient of penitentiary experience because I was the fall guy for not snitching. I hope and I pray today on this court, on this show, that all of them crooked politicians that's been in office for 100 years, y'all know what I mean, been in office for a long time, that's getting their greasy hands greased. I hope they see justice like we would like to see justice, with a good judge on our bench that making right. Right ain't nothing but right. Wrong is wrong. If you're a judge, you can't take dirty money Or you can't take politicians that's out here shucking and jiving your people, because what's going to happen, they're going to look at you and they're going to say, Your Honor, you taking that old dirty politician's money. We don't trust you either. That's why we got a show like this, because it don't cost nobody to watch what we bring. We like to test everybody's temperature. We not insulting nobody. We just being open and honest. And no disrespect to your boss. Me and your boss have our own one-on-one tay-to-tay we need to have. Black, period. You are a public servant. When you're serving the public, you cannot just serve your friends because they speak highly of you. Anybody that speak bad of you, you need to go talk to them and have that conversation to see what you could do to balance it out. Just because he's your boss, I'm not gonna light up on his ass. I'm sorry. Ellie Savage, you know how I feel about you. And you're afraid to come on the show because you came on this show and shuck and jive and say, call me to the carpet. Don't you ever say, call me to the carpet and I can't call you. Because that's a dirty statement. But it ain't about Ellie. It's about Fawn Armstrong. It's about what you're trying to bring to Ipsy. And you already know how I have that distaste for the polluted politician, the Demo Republicans that's running around here acting like they're Democrats. They're going to get caught too. We can't have that.
No.
We
So,
need honesty.
yes. One thing in the Army or in the prosecutor's office, everyone has a boss, right? So normally you get counseled, you get your reviews, someone's telling you what you could do better, what you're doing good at. And judges really don't have a boss, really. Know who their boss is? You, the people. We really have to listen.
Say that again so they can hear you, sweetie. Please, excuse me. Please rewind that and say that again so they can hear you.
The boss of the judge is the people, and that's who we have to listen to. We have to know if what we're doing is making a difference and if it's working, and if not, then redirect and change. We have to constantly be changing, trying to find better ways, because being a judge is an amazing opportunity to really do something. Not just kind of sit up there and say, this is what the law is, and then go home.
It's funny, like, so when she says that, it's not just a statement, it's legitimate. So I'm a defense attorney, and I was talking to her, and I was high and mighty, little arrogant, like, I don't have any bosses. And she reminded me, you have like 100 bosses. All your clients are your bosses. And it brought me back, like, that's right. I took an oath to zealously represent an individual. Like, and while I don't have anyone tell me to go to work, I've been entrusted with that responsibility. And that's the kind of household we have where she reminds me, like, easy, you're not a king. You might not have like a supervisor, but you have 100 bosses, and don't ever forget that, because I'm blessed with my family, with my career, with all that, but it's based on a trust level. And I liked that she reminded me of that before I even had to consider it. So I knew that if she was going to take the judge route, that it would be sincere, and it would be heartfelt, that she'd always remember that it's not just a robe you put on, you're not some queen, it's a duty, it's a responsibility. And I always felt that her sincerity gave me a little bit of awe, like, man, I should be a better person. I really should be. So she knocks me down a few pegs on occasion when I get a little too big for my britches.
Well, I definitely can say I've watched both of you in action on court. I do a lot of court watching. I encourage the public to go on YouTube and watch all of your seated judges, watch what they do, learn some of the tactics. I've seen both of y'all in action. Fawn, you are fire up in that prosecutor's office. I got to give you, hey, hats off. I watched you. And Christopher, this ain't your show, but I got to give you a little kudos too. Get a little fur on your head too. But you good, But I think your wife's sharper. But I think that if we have the type of judge in the office that will bring some civility to our community and some balance, and I would be amiss if I wouldn't say that we need a parental type, a parent in office. I mean, you're a mom, you're a mom, you understand the care of children in the community, that type of leadership, that type of judge on the bench is always awesome. Somebody that understands. I got a kid. I mean, if you ain't got no kids, you can't tell me about none of my kids. You can't tell me about a child if you don't have no children, but you got a child. You got a teen.
Teen,
So,
I
yeah, so
know.
fun night. We're in my office right now, but both our, like, that's what,
Awesome.
like, that's right on my desk every day.
Awesome. See, that's what I'm talking about. Abstract. That's what I'm talking about. He come out. Look, I tried to get him to bring the saxophone on, but this is a different show. No, don't worry about it. Your wife can still oversing your saxophone, but he's right on point. And the reason why, like I tell everybody, I try to be fair, even though people tell me that, oh, you're biased. I'm harmless, y'all. Just don't come on the show and BS me. This is a platform. I let you, like my people told me before, that we're gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself. So if you talk and you don't talk the right thing, then you hang yourself. I'm not a hard interviewer. I'm just, I'm passionate about my city. I'm passionate about my county. And I'm passionate about the right person that's gonna get in the office who ain't gonna sit there and do the same old thing. We fought hard to get Brian Mackey up out that prosecutor's office. We fought hard.
You can
Hard.
say whatever I want, but you can't put her,
Right. I don't even want to put her under the bus like that. But Fawn, I really wanted to get back and have you on the show again, because I think the public really needed to know that genuine side. It's okay to have a husband there because, Christopher, a good guy. He is a good guy, and, he calms you. And I like that. I like that because, the public is able to see your authenticity, your authentic person. You are human. You're a parent. Y'all married couple, beautiful people. Chris, I ain't saying that because you invited me out today, but I'm just saying, I mean, y'all some good people. Y'all some real good people. I have to get a chance to sit down and talk with you, just like you got a chance to sit down and talk with me today. People say, don't talk to that Tyrone. Don't go on this show.
And much like how you said that, if you do an interview and if you ever want to interview again, you want us to be available. Same thing. You don't disappear on me. Like I told you, I got nothing to gain here. I generally enjoyed your company. I enjoyed the dialogue. So still definitely going to have you over. Then the statement we made regarding doing an event here, we would love to do that because there's only so many people that we can meet. And it seems like you have such a large community of followers, people who listen to you, and you can't meet everybody. And sometimes it's best to meet the shepherd because, and not saying anyone's sheep, but to be able to corral an entire group like, hey, let's get together here. And honestly, I think that would be just such a fantastic opportunity.
Well, yes, because then you can, people can ask me real questions and meet me in person. I mean, when you run for judge, it's my first time ever running for office, everyone has an opinion and they're telling you, go to these events, be seen, talk to other political people. And I hate politics. And I said, I'm done. And I'm just going door to door at this point because it's about the people, not about famous people or powerful, people that I can meet and get a picture with. I really just have to go.
You win an election by the votes, and the votes aren't fundraisers every other weekend.
But you're not going to be able to have any self-reflection on the work that you do unless you're actually talking to real people that experience the effects of it. And then the other thing too, I want to say about being mama bear. That's something that I feel like I would bring as a judge because I do care. I want to be able to invest in people and see them succeed and say, hey, you can do something better, and we can give you a second chance, or all of those things. It's something that he's also taken on now because he's now a stepdad. And so with my daughter, we don't yell and we never say because I said so.
always explain ourselves.
We
'cause
explain reasons why we do everything, and then if there's times where she gets in trouble and does the wrong thing, then we sit her down, explain why she did wrong, and then she understands and
The
learns
goal
from
is
it.
to not have it happen again.
Right, so then you hug it out, and I say, you have to be punished now, and she's like, yes, I know.
And I think we
I'm
both
sorry.
remember being like kids just getting yelled at, like,
Right,
and I felt this is constructive. I've never raised my voice to our daughter,
Mhm.
ever. There's no need.
but then so I think those are exactly the same techniques in a different format, but that you can bring to the bench of, I'm explaining to you why, and maybe sometimes someone's gonna have to deal with a punishment or a sentence, but we're going to try to still learn from it, right?
Yeah, I've seen judges all fire and brimstone scream at people, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you yelling for? Like, because you're supposed to be an impartial trier of fact. Like, you're supposed to not be like angry.
Yeah.
Like, your passion should be towards the solution, but
Mhm.
what, are you mad at this person?
Right.
And I've seen her mad at me, but that's usually well deserved. But there's people who are happy to just become judge because, well, it's the next step. Like, even if I got an appointment, I would turn it down. I don't want to be a judge. She wants to be judge to the extent that I was living in the Royal Oak area, and a condition of us getting married was I had to move here because this was her home. This is where she had built her life. And if I was going to be part of it, this is where she wanted to make her claim. This is where she wanted to make a difference. And I've never had a woman make me relocate. That was the
And
first.
Christopher, just for a disclaimer for you, young man, you are youngest my oldest daughter. So yeah. So yeah, women are always right. I'm gonna put it on the floor like that. Y'all are the mothers, y'all are the nurturers, and I ain't sucking up to her because I don't know her that well. But I'm just saying, she's making the right decisions in life, and having the courage to become a judge that wants to bring her passion and her humility to the bench. I honor that young lady. I really do, honestly. I honor anybody who wants to serve the public. That is a big word. That's a big word to swallow. When you're serving the public, that means you must serve. That don't mean you dodge. That don't mean you run or you serve your friends or your constituents. That means you serve the entire public. And for a judge, we really need that non-biased judge on the bench, not because of your friends and your cousins and your relatives or whoever just judging by you as an individual, you as a solid person, you as a genuine person with the reciprocal judgment that you might pass down on that person. You don't know that person's struggle. That person might come up out of the streets just like me, and we might just need a hand up. We might just need a hand up. Just throw this little quick little segment out here for you, but you probably run into a bunch of little kids like me too. When I was young, going through high school, I couldn't afford cleats. I was a very good football player. My coaches used to tease me, make fun of me because I couldn't afford the cleats. All I can say is if I let that coach break me, today I'd be an evil man. And the other stuff that transpired in my life, I'd be an evil man. But having a solid mama in my life that went and checked that coach, and she actually put hands on that coach, jacked him up, threw him against the lockers, and told him, don't you ever disrespect my child like that. And I know for a fact that mama bears do take care of their babies. Mama bears do take care of their babies. Look here. We need a strong judge on the bench that understands, that has that passion and that compassion for people and understand where people come from. We don't have always all the time bad people that come before you. We have a lot of people that makes the wrong choices. And sometimes it takes a judge, a real judge, to pick that person up set them back on the proper foundation, and give them the rules or the instructions to make them succeed. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you for putting your name in the hat, name in the race. I appreciate you for putting your family through this, and I pray for y'all. Christopher, man, for real, on a personal tip, man, for real. I wish I'd have met you a long time ago. One-on-one, brother, you're a great man, flat out. He ain't talk very much about you, Fawn, but I'm just letting you know, but he's a great man. He's a great man. And Fawn, I know enough about you right now to know that if we do get you, we will have a solid judge on the bench that cares. And I have to give everybody the same courtesy to come on this show. If you want to bring your significant other, your pack, your crew, I'm gonna test your temperature, because I have a thermometer and I have a filter that don't shut down. So I must find out who are you that's gonna serve Ipsy. It's important. It's very important. We haven't had a good judge on there that actually comes off the bench and comes in the community. We need that. We need that. And thank y'all for opening up y'all home. For everybody who heard that on our show, I'm not telling y'all, look, let's go find their home and throw a party. I am looking for some serious people that want to go fellowship with these people. These people at least need to have the conversation, the understanding of what you need as a judge in your community. So I'm inviting this to you, Ipsy folk that can vote. Give us a call on our show, on I Thought You Knew. You can contact me directly at 734-444. That means 444-4841. Or you can call our hotline at 734-3675. That's 734-444-3675. I might have missed the 444s because I was, doing Jay-Z. But Fawn Armstrong information is on this link. If y'all want to find out about her campaign, y'all click the link and y'all can go check out her page and see what she got going on, her endorsements, because I know she got some powerful endorsements. I want y'all to go see for yourself. Check out her page, support her if y'all want to. Definitely, y'all should, because she is a worthy candidate just like everybody else. And I think that she brought a fine tip to us in understanding that we have a gem of a candidate for 14A District Court Judge, Fawn. Christopher. Man, Christopher, thank you, man.
That was my pleasure. There's room at the end. You're coming over. You know that.
I know y'all gonna hog tie me. Hey, he told me if I don't come, I'm gonna be hog tied. So I'm gonna tie myself up. But I want to get that information out there to y'all once again. Y'all check out her information. Y'all check out, if y'all would like to make a contribution, small contribution, $2. We take $2. Make a small contribution to I Thought You Knew. Check out our Thought You Knew website. It's on the bottom of the page. We have a PayPal account. It's www.IThoughtYouKnew.com. To my friends, y'all rock this show. But Christopher, that saxophone, you and me in this I Thought You Knew, we got a different date.
I'll jam.
Fawn, could you promise us one thing? We always like to ask our candidates once when they get into office, once when they make it on that bench.
Once that interview.
Come
When you
back.
make it on that bench, please come back and sing a tune for us, because we would love it. We would love it. That would be such a special thing. To me, in my heart, I think that would be the bomb. A husband and wife combination coming over here, y'all. Look here.
I don't know.
Wow. Y'all might make this show go viral.
I can play the sax and she can sing. There's got to be something that the saxophone.
Well, when we meet in person, we're going to call you out. I ain't forget. I got a mind like an elephant. I don't forget. I don't forget.
I promise, I will come back and
All right.
I will sing a little bit.
And Fawn, you and your husband, you tell that little lady that, hey, I'm her big brother. I show her big brother. Anybody mess with her?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show. God bless you. Good night.
My pleasure. Have a good one. Take care.